Some of these child actors face a lot of pain after their fame. Sometimes the sleek highway to Hollywood twists into a boulevard of broken hearts and broken dreams. The TV kids we grew up with after the applause continues. Stay with us.
Stop! Gilligan, put that down. What are you doing?
Oh, I just want to taste your soup, but... Boy, that girl sure do make strong soup.
That's acid. Oh, are you lucky we got back in time? What's the matter? You look funny.
I was just thinking how close I came to having permanent heartburn.
Marianne of Gilligan's Island. Here she is in the flesh. Dawn Wells. Gilligan's Island has become one of the most widely syndicated television series in the history of the medium. How do you feel watching yourself sort of stuck in time, at least insofar as that series is concerned?
It's hard to look at yourself 25 years ago. That's the hard part. It's a wonderful experience for me to be part of television history. Gilligan's Island is the longest-running show in the history of syndication. I think we passed I Love Lucy a couple years ago. We have never been off the air since 1964. And everybody has a... Yes! Even though the critics still bad rap us, I think Johnny Carson still makes fun of us every once in a while, we still are a very warm part in everybody's heart. It's about 3 generations. Every kid came home from school. If it wasn't prime time, they came home at 3:30. They didn't do their homework till 4 o'clock, and they sat down and watched Gilligan's Island. So I have no complaints.
None at all?
No.
You had a great time doing it?
Yeah, we really did. I was very new.
So naive, so innocent watching it. You know, where did you all sleep, for instance?
Well, we don't ask that question. If it had been post-Norman Lear, we'd all been in one hut.
Did they impose other kinds of restrictions on you?
Oh, yes. There was a belly button restriction on me and a cleavage restriction on Ginger.
On Tina Louise?
On Tina Louise. Poor Sherwood would have to come down to the set 2 or 3 times a day to make sure that my hip hugger shorts were high enough and that her blouse was high enough.
Did you ever want to be Tina Louise, the femme fatale of the marooned bunch?
No, but I got to imitate her once. Marianne got to pretend she was Ginger in a dream sequence, which was fun.
Was that one of your favorite shows?
Yeah, we liked the dream sequences most because we got to be other people, you know.
You know, Jim Backus and Alan Hale Jr. tragically are gone to us. Do you ever stay in touch with any of the others? Like,
we're all very close. I speak with Bob all the time. We're doing a personal appearance this weekend, and Mrs. Howell and I are very close friends.
With Bob Denver? Gilligan? Yeah. I mean, I guess it was Gilligan.
It was Gilligan. It's still Gilligan. Yeah.
What was his first name?
Bob?
Bob
Gilligan. No, wait a minute. I got stumped on that, and Bob knows the answer to that. He did have a first name in an original script, but it was never...
What do you mean you stay in touch to do shows? You still acting with him?
Oh, yeah. Well, Bob and I have not done a play together. We have followed each other doing theater a lot across the years, and we just see each other as friends, personal appearances, you know, that kind of thing.
Joining us on the phone right now, Gilligan himself, Bob Denver. So, Bob, the same question I just asked Dawn. How do you like watching yourself 20 years later?
Well, I guess they always say it's like watching your son. You know?
Do you have a son?
Sure. In fact, he was in one of the episodes when they were looking for a little Gilligan because we had a dream sequence. Jack and the Beanstalk. And I kept saying, I have a 5-year-old looks just like me. And they kept saying, well, we're casting, you know. In 3 weeks, they looked for a little kid that looked like me. And they finally said to me, we can't find one. I said, I have a little kid that looks just like me. And they said, bring him down. And they looked at him and they said, you know, he looks just like you. And I said, right, guys.
What a surprise.
Yeah.
He was 5 years old then. How old is he now?
He's 30.
Wow.
And I'll tell you something. Patrick was his name, and Patrick spent the weekend with me after we'd filmed that episode, and he would not get out of the Gilligan outfit. And Bob said, it's okay. He slept in it night and day for 2 days. The hat, the little shirt. I have home movies of it, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Do you miss those days, Bob?
I guess in a way. We had a lot of fun. I mean, it wasn't, you know, it was a lot of hard work, and we worked quick and fast. But, I mean, each show was so ridiculous. You know, we'd get done on a Friday and say, well, we just did the silliest one. And one of the crew members would say, did you read next week?
Did she really make cream pies the way it was portrayed?
Yeah, we actually had some really big cream pies. I mean, when you threw those, they were dangerous, you know?
He knows. He got a few.
Yeah.
Why did you write a cookbook?
Good idea, wasn't it? I wish I'd have gone to Sara Lee as soon as the show went off the air and said, let's do a Marianne coconut cream pie. I get that question most.
You've been busy. You've been acting on stage quite a bit.
I've been very lucky. I've never been out of work except by choice since the series went off the air.
Any TV work?
Yeah, I'm in the midst of doing a film. I go back tonight and continue filming a film called Soulmates, which is wonderful, produced by Matt Devlin. I'm on my way to Canada on Sunday to do The Odd Couple with Marcia Wallace and Victoria.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And then I'm doing another film called The Queen of Hearts, starting sometime in April. So I've been very lucky.
Bob, from where are you calling?
Las Vegas.
Are you on stage there?
Nope, I live here.
Are you busy? Are you going around?
Yeah. We do about the same, but everybody that has an old series ends up, going out a couple of times a year or more, And also we're going to do the college circuit, both of us.
I think the college circuit would be a terrific idea.
Yeah, this year, so we're going to try that because the kids ask great questions. Where'd all the clothes come from for the house?
Number one. Number one question.
Where did you get all those wardrobes? You were shipwrecked. You were supposed to be on a weekend cruise, and you had 18 outfits apiece.
If you notice, Gilligan and the skipper wore the same clothes. We figured that Tina and Dawn got all her clothes from the Howells. We didn't have a sewing machine, but we did very well.
You did very well. It must have been all those palm fronds and, and coconuts. Todd, ironically, you just did the young lassie or the new lassie, whatever they call it. And you played a cop?
Yeah. Played deputy sheriff.
It was appropriate,
I know how to act like one.
Give me a break. Give us 2 minutes and come back to the TV kids we grew up with. Erin Murphy, Tabitha's next. Stay with us.
Miss Bird. Yeah. Tabitha. Grandma says I can do anything I want.
No one can give you permission to use witchcraft, except me.
But you won't.
That's right. Now, you unwitch that bird, young lady.
Okay, be the way you were before.
Erin Murphy, Tabitha, all grown up. I know this is probably the most asked question you get, but do you still need your finger to wiggle your nose?
I don't do that anymore.
You don't? Did you get into magic as a result of that show? I mean,
Actually, I worked as a magician's assistant for a little while, but it had nothing to do with the show.
Now, like Dawn's, yours was a good experience, basically.
Right, totally. I didn't have a bad experience at all on the show. It was wonderful for me. I worked with great people. I had wonderful parents who made me be a normal kid. I never realized how much money I was making. I did chores around the house, and I got $1 a week allowance. So it wasn't, I never realized that I was basically a TV star. I was just a normal kid. So I had a great time on the show, and I didn't have
And you're
problems.
a twin.
Right. I have a fraternal twin sister, Diane, but we don't look alike, so we weren't really used interchangeably on the show.
She was on the show, too?
Yeah, well, at the beginning, they used us when we were babies. They kind of trade us back and forth. But then as we got older, we looked less and less alike. So occasionally they'd show her from the back or at a distance, but they didn't show her face very often.
I wonder how you feel listening to some of the sad stories we've heard so far.
Well, I think it's kind of a misconception that child stars always have tortured lives and problems. I think if you took a group of any children, say you take 100 children from any school and follow their lives, there will be successes and failures and people who get involved with drugs and any number of things. And I think it's just, it receives so much publicity because they are actors. But I don't think on a whole that child actors turn into troubled adults at all.
Dawn, do you have a feeling about that?
Well, yeah, I have a feeling. I was just talking to Jay a little earlier and saying it's the aunt and uncle, not the show business experience exactly that caused that. Had he been in something else, that the aunt and uncle might have had control of him. Unfortunately, he was exposed, but also it's interesting to see how forgiving people are. They loved you as a child. They loved you on the show. They had a feeling for you. And it's interesting to see the response here with the audience, how loving they are to everybody here. Knowing the hardships they've gone through, they're very forgiving with that. I find that very interesting.
I didn't ask you